Spider-Man, Spider-Man does everything a spider can. Spins the webs and toilet seats. That's disgusting. Yes, we're back. No, damn it, I'm back. With Spider-Man Homecoming. Coming here, coming there, coming everywhere. Ah, it just sounds wrong. Homecoming. I mean, why the hell call it Homecoming? I mean, who thought of that? Start this off. Michael Keaton plays a guy who is sent in right after the Avengers, the first one. And he's sent in to clean up, all the mess that was left behind by the end technology and the fact that the Avengers were versing what looks like the bloody crawl. And smashed into pieces, into buildings and whatnots, and all the end technology just left behind, scattered around everywhere. Well, they got Michael Keaton, who's basically a cleanup crew. Gets his crew, goes there, cleans the stuff up, ships it off. But unfortunately for him, Tony Stark comes along and he takes over. He has his own people. It's like, I don't need you, I've got my own people, I can do it myself. And so, because of this, Michael Keaton's basically unemployed and he needs a better job. So he thinks, oh, well, if this is how the new world is going to go, I have to change too. Flash forward 8 years and Michael Keaton's now going around stealing goods. He's basically going around stealing alien technology and selling it off to the highest bidder, wherever he can. Plus, utilizing some of these stuff for his own means, as in using technology itself to steal the goods. Also, using technology to make his own vulture suit. In the meantime, Peter Parker, played by Tom Holland, who going around high school doing his thing, saying, I got an internship with Tony Stark's company. Even though he hasn't, he's really just has a Spider-Man suit and they call him up now and again. Which, the fact that Tony Stark is the one that made the Spider-Man suit is actually pretty good, because it's kind of better than the original Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, 3, so on. Where somehow he's got a suit that he's made himself, somehow. The fact that Tony Stark's made it makes it more viable, especially with all the technology that they've actually put into the suit. And Tom Holland, playing Peter Parker, he's brilliant in it. I love the way he portrays him. He's not so shy, he's not so stupid about things. He's smart, but he isn't ridiculous about it. He knows what he's doing, that type of thing. But he's a very enthusiastic teenager, put it that way, which actually helps a lot more with his character. Tom Holland, you may not know him from much at all, actually. The only thing you can remember him from or know about is the fact that he was in Billy Elliot. Not the film, but the musical stage play, which was back in 2014. But he plays it perfectly, nigh on perfect for Peter Parker. He also has a friend called Ned, who's played by Jacob Batalon. Batalon. God, what do you want, man? I don't know. Batalon. Anyway, Ned, who's basically Peter Parker's friend. And if it wasn't for this guy, it would just be Peter Parker on his own. But the fact that he's got a friend who, you understand exactly why Peter Parker has him as a friend. He's actually really cool. Then you also have Peter Parker and his love interest, who is Liz, who's played by Laura Harrier. And if you've never heard of her, neither have I. I think she does some TV stuff here and there, but otherwise she's pretty much practically unknown. This is her biggest film so far. Same as Tom Holland's film. And basically, in the meantime, besides Peter Parker going out and doing some little odd jobs here and there for Tony Stark, he basically just goes to high school like a normal teenager. Do a pretty good job of showing that. He's not so nerdy in this, actually. He's a little bit less of a nerd. And he's more realistic as a nerd, instead of just being some nerd but everybody just goes around bullying. He's more of a nerd that, he hasn't got friends. He's only got a few here and there, and that's it. Even though the popular girl is still kind of, in the same kind of crowd, which she gets nowadays isn't really the choice. Instead, the old-fashioned, oh, look, they're in high school. Here's a bully. Here's the one who's all fit all the time and screws the freaking cheerleaders. And here's one who's nerdy as hell and Peter Parker might like. Yeah, a bit more realistically played. And Marissa Tomei basically plays Aunt May. There's not really much to her. She kind of comes here and in and out, here and there, and she barely has any lines in this, really. She just there as a face more than anything else. Like, oh yeah, that's Aunt May over there. See ya? Yeah, cool. And Michael Keaton in this plays more of a disgruntled employee than an actual villain who just wants to look after his family and make some money. Basically, just a hard-working man. But unfortunately, he's doing a lot of crime to help his family. So in a way, you can feel sympathetic for him, but another way, you can just say, out of all the things you had to do, this is probably a weird choice, but it does make a lot of money. Also, you have what you could call a bully, which is Tony Revolori, who you may know as Jib from Dope. He's in it. And he's doing pretty well as a kid who basically just pokes fun at Peter Parker now and again. Basically jabs him on every time he goes down. Every time he goes down. Wrong choice of words there. Basically, when Peter Parker's down, he kicks him down even more. Just by talking, not by actually bullying or, kicking the hell out of him lethally. The film itself, I think, is really good. Tom Holland knows exactly how to play Peter Parker. He plays him being nerdy, but being kind of cool in a nerdy kind of way. Having some kind of interesting, challenging stuff with his friend. Like, they've both got their own little thing. They even got the little handshake going on, which is kind of cool. And Tom Holland just comes off as a really likable Peter Parker, who isn't stupid. Nerdy, but likable. Really likable. And very funny as well. He cracks a few jokes and doesn't just mundanely, plod through the entire thing. And the way he moves and his little actions here and there, just really, really spot on. Michael Keaton, he does his job fairly well. He portrays himself mainly. He's more Keaton-y in this. That makes sense. I mean, I really enjoyed this film. I really recommend you go watch it. I do think that, even though I would have liked it to be a little bit longer, even though it's long enough, it's like 2 hours, 10 minutes. But they could have spent, even if they spent 10 more minutes just focusing on Keaton's character a bit longer, the love interest between Peter Parker and Liz, and Ned as well, the bonding bit between the two, between Peter Parker and his friend Ned. But all in all, it was great action sequences, great set pieces. Just a bit lacking, just a little bit of character here and there. But, the first film has done a very good job. And to top it off, the only thing I think slightly mars it down, even though you have Tony Stark, who brings a lot of character into it. You got Happy, who is more of a guy who's not just a chauffeur, but actually does, the Avengers stock take. You could have had less Marvel trying to sink in the Marvel Universe into Spider-Man, or Spider-Man into the Marvel Universe by mentioning them all the time. But still, even with that, they could have done less of it and had more characterization than just trying to bang on the fact that, yes, we do have these other movies coming up. Yes, we know you're going to have a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and see how he works out, and he's still in training and he's still young, which is a bit of a factor. But, you could have done less of that and more of it actually made it just a Spider-Man movie on its own. For a person who's directing his first time big budget movie, this is really well done. Hats off to you. If I had a hat. Oh, wait, I do have a hat. But I highly recommend it. Go watch it. Alright? As he's still here. Presumably. Now, go find us on SoundCloud with Let's Talk Shorts, on Twitter, Let's Talk Shorts, and funnily enough, on iTunes, what's it called? Let's Talk Shorts. Otherwise, you got us on YouTube, Let's Talk Shorts Night Reviews. Please give us a like, please leave us a comment, tell me what you think of this movie. If you like it, hate it, love it, or just disagree with me altogether, I don't care. It's my opinion, man. I'll do what I want.